Today I want to show you how I made this stream. I love the lush green look and how well it fits in between the fields and surrounding buildings. I'll go over the shape and color of the riverbed and all the detailing I used when adding in the plant life. So I wanted to talk about the shape of the stream. As you can see, there's a really gradual decrease all the way along the river. Every 10 or so blocks it drops down one block. I found that to be a pretty good incline for it. If you're making this into a river, obviously it'd be a lot flatter. But in this area of my world, I have it coming from the top of the mountain and then eventually ends up in the river down there. So I had to make a gradual increase. There's a couple waterfalls in here too, as you can see. But most of it is just a long and very gradual incline downwards. Out here I took a little cross section to kind of explain what's going on underneath the water because it's a little difficult to see. But the very bottom is about 3 blocks down here, and I'll fill this in. The glass represents the water, obviously. And then it goes up 1 or 2 blocks. This block here is where you can put a lot of plant life, and then this block right here, the course start on this side, and on that side, kind of represents like the mainland. And from here I would just stretch it like this, or maybe elevate it again up here. But I have that block below the river for more area for plant life, and because in real life the river or the stream would rise and fall throughout the year, and maybe yours is going to be in the rainy season where it's at maximum height, but this one's just sort of in the middle at the moment. Additionally, for the colors, most of it is made out of mud, which is just the perfect dark color for the river bottom, and then you can also throw in the muddy mangrove roots for just a little bit more of the mud or the brown color. Then I also mixed in some rooted dirt and some coarse dirt, mostly on the top edges along here, but I also did a little bit in the bottom of the water as well. So that kind of gave it the natural muddy, dark, brown colored look that rivers have. You could throw in some rocks in here as well. I don't really have any of those except for the big ones down there. But if you were to take some slabs or stairs and have them poking out of the water or just along the sides, that would also be a really great addition to kind of this general shape. And obviously I made this stream like as absolutely lush as possible. There's almost not a single blank block in here. It's all filled in with some sort of shrubbery or something. But I just wanted to go over these details kind of one by one. The most interesting which is probably these reeds made with green stained glass, and then the brown candles. These are really great. You have to put them diagonal from each other, because if you put them next to each other then the glass connects and it doesn't look as good. So I would prefer if they were closer together, but we have to space them out a little bit like this. And of course, sometimes on the edge it still connects to blocks, as you can see under the water. But from the path you can't tell. It just looks like reeds. So these are really cool. I had them in a few different patches along this stream here. Additionally, there's lily pads in the middle and then seagrass below. I also threw in a little bit of the small drip leaf. Everything else is along the sides of the banks, but those are kind of what's actually inside of the river. For the outside, there's obviously lots of leaves, ferns. You can really use any of the default plants here. I didn't have bushes when I made this, but bushes would also be a great example for this. Short grass, the small ferns, the big drip leaf, as well as like the berry bushes too. I liked the bamboo. You just have to make sure to put a string over top so it doesn't grow up forever. And then another good addition was just kind of putting in patches of flowers. You can see I had the lilacs over here, the torch flowers over here, some blue orchids. Just kind of doing those patches on the sides made it feel really nice and lush, and added some really nice coloring. That was most of it. I also experimented with using like wheat seeds. You could probably also use potatoes or something similar. And I thought it was a pretty cool effect. Yeah, the potatoes look good too. More green obviously, but I thought the wheat kind of just brought in a different color as opposed to it all being kind of mostly green. And when you're looking at the river from this way, it's really some nice pops of that yellow. I thought it went really well. That's pretty much everything I added. As you can see, I just filled in with every single space here. Sometimes I had these leaves coming out into the water because the water texture still goes through the leaves. So you kind of get both there. It looks like they're kind of hanging down, the water's still rushing through them, which was really great. I added some sea pickles in here as well. Just really any green block I could think of. There are some mushrooms elsewhere, I think the crimson ones, because they don't depend on light levels. But if you have a darker area, you can use the other mushrooms as well. they'd probably go in pretty well, but unfortunately, Trizomite, it's too light out here. Maybe underneath the bridge or something right here. I could probably put one. There we go. There we go. That's nice. I like that. But yeah, just absolutely filled in with all these different types of plant life, and it made it feel really nice and lush. And this was one of my favorite areas of my entire world, looking from this bridge up towards the mountain there. It's fantastic. Thank you for watching these tips on how I built this stream. I think it's something that can be added into nearly any world and fit right in. I hope it inspired you to make something similar. I have a video about the cornfield beside it, so make sure to check that one out too. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.